It's the fact that I have to take this off after this. Like, so therefore I'm getting naked. F it.
These nuts.
Welcome back to my channel. This is my Painted with Raven episode 3 review. And this was a pretty good episode. You know, the show is really starting to find its own footing. It's really starting to get into what's eventually going to end up being, I guess. I don't really freaking know. But they did get approved for season 2. And after these videos, I'm definitely not going to be on it. But you know what? It does still hurt. It is. Yeah, it does still hurt. So for this week, the mini challenge was they had to do face tattoos. And then the main challenge was like inspired by art, right? Let's get into it, okay? Painted with Raven. It is a show about makeup artistry? Not really. It's a show about arts and craftsmanship? Not really. It's a show about like influencerhood? Not really. It's in a really interesting place as like a television show. This is a negative and a positive. It's like, you know, with Instant Influencer and like Glam Masters and you know, all these Face Off and like all these other makeup shows, like there's like real world applications sometimes. But with Painted with Raven, we really haven't gotten to see how they would apply this stuff in real life. It's like, yeah, these are like cool and interesting portfolio looks, but it's like, when are you ever going to be asked to like glue paper to someone? Or, you know, here's a specific painting, you have to be inspired by it. You know, it's stuff like that. I would love to see some more real world application in the Painted with Raven, you know, contest. I understand with like COVID and like the Zoom protocol, like there's kind of limitations there, but hopefully for season 2, you get to actually use some real models and you get to see them like actually paint on other people. Or like even use social media, like, you know, our mini challenge for today, do a makeup look, a makeup tutorial, whoever gets the most TikTok likes wins the challenge. But nonetheless, we're gonna start off with this episode. Let's get into Raven's look. Oh my god, Raven looks amazeballs. She's snow snatched, the brows are so high and arched, and she really has this like really interesting like shape going on with her cut crease. You know, she's the queen of cut crease, like I say all the time, but it's like almost like dots or like oblong shapes, but she's just pull it back. She's just pull it back. One thing about Raven though, she loves a red lip. I would love to see her step outside of a red lip sometime. Maybe something a bit more vampy, or at this one you could even gone with like, I think it would have been too much blue, but even if you wanted to pull like that yellow, or even a black. Yeah, we love black around here. If you couldn't tell, that's why I painted myself green. And now we're gonna get into the mini challenge looks. First up, Yvonne. Yvonne was actually the winner of this challenge. As far as her look, I really want to know what the brief for this was, because it's like, was it real world application of tattoos? Like, you know, what your makeup artist self would look like if they got face tattoos? Or is it like, you know, show off how much you can do with face tattoos? Really wasn't entirely too sure. I do applaud Yvonne because she absolutely did the most. Like, she did the most work. Like the eyeliner that looks like words. What primer did you use for your eyelids to not sweat that off instantly? Oh my god. I mean, it's good work. It's just like straight up good work. I can't be mad at this. I think it was a deserved point. Next up we have Taj. I'm really a fan of like, you know, things with a deeper meaning, obviously. I like for things to have impact, for things to have, you know, a backstory. But this one, it just felt like, unless you were Taj, you were not gonna get this. Unless you were Flawless Shade, the drag queen, you were not gonna understand what was going on with this look. I understand the rose, like the crown, stencils, sure, yeah, I don't care. Whatever gets the job done. It just left a lot to be desired. It left a lot to be desired. Even if the crown was made from like a gold pigment and the flower was like green and red, it would have been a little Christmassy, but it would have added some really cool like contrast to the makeup look, right? But just like black liner, sure, yeah. Next up was Bryce. Now y'all know this is my baby daddy. Bryce and I are gonna have beautiful children someday. We're gonna live on a ranch. We're gonna have, you know, 17 acres. It's gonna be amazing. This is where I get into the whole discussion of like, was it real world application or was it like, you know, just be creative, do what you can do? Because Bryce is so much more creative than this. So much more creative with this. And, you know, with the mini challenges, I've noticed he doesn't really push himself as much. I would love to see him really like take risks with the mini challenge, because it just seems like he just like shows up and is like, this is what I get. Y'all can't send me home. which is like, he's right, but at the same time, I would love to see him like take it there. Just take it there in a mini challenge. Love you though. Ryan, oh, this is amazing. This is beautiful. I mean, low key, if we really wanted to like even out the scale and like make this like more of a fair game, I low key would have given her the challenge win for this. Low key would have given her that extra point, especially if they were like gonna consider sending her home again, which, anyways. I just think there's so much artistry and so much story here. And with Taj's, like, no one's gonna understand what a crown and a rose symbolize, but like the nails with the brush, like that's obviously an allusion to Black culture. With like, you know, the sailor anchor, with like the heart and the, you know, the flame decal. Such good, intricate work, and I do not think that it received the praise that it deserved. Give Black women their props. Period. Next up is Jamon. Hands down, by far, the best work he's done in this competition. The best work he's done in this competition. Why he can't take this into like every other challenge? This beautiful blend of like the African continent. Oh my god. I still don't like the brows. The pick and, you know, the like mask, the African mask. Oh my god, it's so amazing. When is he gonna bring this to like everything else? I hate to sound like a hater, and I hate to sound like, you know, I'm on the Jamon, we hate Jamon fan club. Bring this to everything, because obviously it's there, so you can do it. One thing I'm sure you have all learned about me, I'm a hater, okay? I'm a proud hater. I hate with all of my heart. To see a white twink fail at something, getting on up, I'm on my high horse, yes, come on, Casey Musgraves. I'm so glad that he failed at something and that he showed us that he's a human. This look, yeah, it's cool. It finally came off as pretentious. You know, all of his stuff was so cool and like there was such a story behind it, and it's like, oh, why does it have to be good every time? But this one, it's like, I wax my eyebrows. I cry sometimes. Okay, girl, like, congratulations. Thank you, Matthew the White Twink. I really do appreciate you being bad at something. You're really representing the community well. Thank you. Okay, and now we can get into our main challenge looks. The main challenge looks for this week was inspired by a painting. Yes, so they had to take one of 6 paintings and duke it out and see which one they got. Let me be real. Let me be real. They're trying it with the drama. You know, Jordan, he tried to give his little 2 cents, mismuted. He was like, the winner should pick. They're like, no. And you know what's really interesting is like when they get into the confessionals and stuff, they have a lot to say. They're very mouthy people. Like, they have opinions. But it's like when you're on that Zoom call, you never look at them and think, Taj, why are you talking? Like, you're in the lead. You're not the underdog. Jamon, that looks horrible. First up is Jamon. I'm not a mean person. I'm not a mean-spirited individual. I promise. I promise on everything I swear and love. This is horrible. Oh my god, did I just say that? This is not good. The best part of it is like this like kind of stone, gray, cool blue, caryatid makeup. That's literally all. Like, I like the way he contoured it and like highlighted it. This paper flask thing, it looked like those like, you know, chemist flask. It did not look like a wine bottle. Not really like a fishtail either. What was this pouring liquid? Why was it changing colors as it poured? The eyebrows being like on a slant. What was that about? The fact that in the first episode, you wore 16 pairs of lashes on one eye, and then every other look you just wear a color lash, which we all know how I feel about that. But then in this look, you're not even wearing like a hint of eyeliner or a hint of mascara. What's really going on? Like, talk to me about this. You really looked in the mirror and you said, I don't need any eyeliner. The fruit, it's not even fruit. It's blobs of color on your face. Even if you wanted to go for that aesthetic, just like, you know, blobs of color on the face, it would have been much cooler. Why did you think it was appropriate to put a fruit basket on your nose? And then you didn't even blend it all the way into your hairline. I'm done. Next. Oh, if it wasn't clear, instant bottom. Yeah. Next up is Yvonne. I really like Yvonne's look. This like explosion of color. So fierce, so everything. I really love the background, like this kind of like blending of rainbow. It goes from like blue to yellow to like orange to purple. Like, it's really, really cool. I wish, you know, for the center square, I wish there were like actual lines, even if they were like white or black, to kind of differentiate the squares. I really didn't see a need for the black and white circle thing. I don't think it really added that much to the look. I think there was another place you could have put like black and white if you really wanted to include it. The lip though, oh, the lip is like perfection. That like oblong glitter red lip, so freaking beautiful. One of the best pieces of makeup we've had in this competition so far. Like, that is everything. That is editorial. That is like front cover of a magazine. You're selling lip gloss, you're selling lipstick, you're selling a glitter, you're selling a mixing pigment, you're selling like all these things in this one freaking makeup piece. Oh, so good. Next up, Ryan. Ryan's my girl. She's returning. I'm so glad she's back. Well, so glad she was back for the one episode. This look was not as bad as the judges were saying. I really love the texture she's made with the oil paint, but I do agree, the bottom half of the face, what happened? What happened? It's so beautiful. Even though I do think that, you know, the huge lily on the forehead is a bit cliche, but literally all she had to do was have like a pink or like a purpley lilac glossy lip. If she had like taken the headband off and had her braids out and like painted on like edges or made it look like flower lilies with that same oil paint technique, that would have been so beautiful. She would have looked so ethereal. I see what she was going for, but unfortunately it does look a bit really, really advanced, like child's face painter. Would I have put her in the bottom? Yeah, I would have to, by like process of elimination. Next up is Taj. Low key, lowest of keys. This is the best technical makeup work that Taj has done in the competition so far. The way this like highlight is beaming, the draggy contour really works for him, except on the nose. I do not like the nose contouring. The lip, the eye, this like really cool duochrome glitter that he's done. I do agree that he kind of copped out, you know, like I said, love a bitch who paints the head. On one hand, the prompt was like inspired by this like art piece, yes. And he definitely took the wave and like, you know, put it on his shirt, on his neck, like all this cool detail work. It looks amazing. Didn't really understand the like snot drips or like those tears. I appreciate taking that initial emotion of like anger of the sea and turning it to like the calmness of the wave. But then again, the iconicness of the picture is that like the wave is like crashing and it's like an angry, powerful wave. I mean, even more layered and even more developed of an idea if it was like there's a sadness and anger, right? If we want to talk about like psychology and like primary emotions, you know, anger is a secondary emotion. You can have the sadness, but there's like an underlying fury underneath. No one cares. It's makeup. No one's thinking about it that deeply. But I do think that he could have pushed the envelope a bit more. But I do think this was perfectly safe, and I think that it was one of the best work he's shown so far. Yeah. Oh my god, next. My baby daddy, when I tell you guys he knocked this out of the park, oh my god, this is why this man and I will have children. This is why I'm going to impregnate him. This is amazing. This is so awesome. You instantly get like what the image is inspired by. You instantly get like all this like explosion of color and texture and like paint technique and like I said, he took it up into the hairline. Jamon, take notes. This is where a colored eyelash works, right? Because the whole thing about Starry Night is like two sides of a world, you know, there's like the sun and the moon, whatever. This like explosion of like a sunburst orange, triangular cut crease, you know, paint brushstroke thing. Top of the charts. Again, easily like the best work he's shown in the challenge so far. So proud of him. So proud of my baby. Doo-doo-doo. Last up, we have Matt, aka Crimson. Matt did an awesome job. I mean, like, we expect them to do an awesome job. We're not really surprised by that. It's fair, yeah, it's a bit repetitive, but at the same time, that is so cool. What he created is so cool. Like, that's on the set of, like, some sci-fi movie. Like, that's a promotional poster for, like, The Shape of Water, too. And he did a bald cap. And he did, like, prosthetics. And he did, like, pointillism. And he, like, painted all the way. Ugh, it was good. It was good. Low-key would have put him in the top. Low-key. Thor, low-key. I really hope that his track record starts to pick up soon. Because it seems like he's never going to get his big break the way that it's going so far. I do think he's, like, one of the top artists in the competition. Speaking of him being a white twink, he does this. He never stands still. Every time he poses, I wish that he would take his makeup a little more seriously and present it in a bit more serious fashion, give him that picture. I don't think he gives him that picture often enough. We end up with Yvonne and Bryce in the top, Matt and Taj safe, Ryan and Jamon in the bottom. Only thing is I would have probably put Matt in the top as well and kept Taj as only safe. But that's only if I really wanted to nitpick and throw things off. But then we get to the face-off. They had to do an ombre lip. Ryan smudged her lip. Jamon, don't know what that was. It should have been a double elimination. Straight up. Maybe it's a little too early into the show for a double elimination, but I think if there was any time to do it, that was probably it. I think that would have been a really good wake-up call for Jamon as well, to be like, oh my god, I went home, I was muted for a week, I really need to step up my game. Next week, they're doing holographic, and it looks like they're doing some blue and white theme. Oh, they have to create it from themselves. What does that mean? But we'll see. Don't judge a book by its cover. What you see is what you get. So that was Painted with a Raven, episode 3 review. I'm really excited for next week. I'm really excited to see what everyone brings, and if it's going to be as good as the episode as the rest of them have been. So, alright, thanks so much for watching, you guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check back in next week for the next Painted with Raven review with me, Kevin Taylor, aka Serena Dakini, aka a very tired hoe. Bye!
Strip clubs and dollar bills, still got my money. That's all y'all need. Or should I keep going? Patron shots, can I get a refill? Still got my money.